Some of the hardest parts about being retired have nothing to do with money. YouTube is filled with how-tos, how to beat sequence of return risk, when to take Social Security, how to factor in inflation, how to manage a pension or fixed income, along with your assets that may be in, mutual funds, how much fixed to have, how much equities to have. So much information out there, how to manage around the Affordable Care Act, manage around IRMA, premiums for your Medicare. There's so much information is out there and great content. But so much of the challenges in retirement are these emotional struggles. And I got to say, retirement is great, but I'm going to list 10 emotional obstacles I needed to overcome. And I think I've overcome at least 9 out of the 10 of these. One of these is a continuing battle. And I've talked about that before. But, preparing for retirement emotionally is a big deal. And I'm hoping by putting out this content, it kind of normalizes it for you. And you can hear my solutions that worked for me. Not necessarily will work for you, but my solutions. So here are those 10 things I found difficult. Let's jump right into it. Number 1, the emotional letdown after a high. I had a great career. I was promoted 13 times to 14 different jobs. And, there were accomplishments, records, production records, profit records, safety records, environmental records, you name it. We celebrated accomplishments, things we've never done before, speeds we never run in production, quality records, all these things. And, it was a giant board game. And there were micro wins every single day. There were big losses. There were big wins. It's an emotional roller coaster, but it's kind of like a game, and I enjoyed it. And going to retirement is like going to the stands and watching others play the game. So that took a little while to get through, but I don't have any secret sauce for that one other than just recognize it's something that I went through. Number 2, redefining what a productive day is. This is a big deal. I used to, have 14, 15 things on my list to do when I went to work. Even on the weekends, I'd have 4 or 5 jobs that my wife and I worked out. Say, hey, we need to get this done. We need to cut the grass, trim the hedges. We need to go to this event. It's just very structured. And there were accomplishments. You felt good checking those things off. Got the grass cut, got this project done, made this presentation, all of these productive days. And you got to redefine that. In retirement, it can just be taking a walk, can be exercising, can be cooking a meal, can just be spending time on YouTube learning something new about nutrition or vitamin supplements. Okay. Number 3, relationship friction. Okay. This is a kind phrase rather, about your relationship with your spouse. Being together all day, 24/7 is a lot different than just nights and weekends. A lot. Little habits become big habits. Little annoyances become big annoyances. You don't just retire from work, you retire into a face-to-face relationship. I'll be honest, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, but my wife and I argue more than we did when I was working. That's because I was gone 60 hours a week. Okay. Now, we work through things, but, we have at least double the disagreements. And I think that's healthy. Maybe you can judge me on that. But, you got to expect that. Don't think that something's wrong. Don't think you don't have a great relationship with your spouse anymore because you're arguing twice as much. You're together twice as much, and you're, this is one of the reasons I think having journeys that I'm on alone make a lot of sense. My parks board, my habitat, those are journeys I'm on by myself. My YouTube, I'm on that journey by myself. So I carve out time, and my wife does the same thing. I carve out journeys that I'm on, a couple nonprofits, my exercise. Most of the time I do that by myself. And it's really that forcing in that little bit of break because, just being together all the time, I don't know that any two perfectly compatible individuals can handle that 24/7, 365. Tell me I'm wrong. Okay. Hey, folks, my name is Joe. I'm sharing my journey to help you on your journey. Not to be prescriptive, but just to say, hey, this is one man's journey. Joe struggled with that. Here's how Joe overcame it. This is normal. I know Joe said he went through this. Okay. On subscribers, hey, take a moment to see if you're subscribed. A lot of people think they're subscribed and they're not. My subscribers are only make up 26% of the total people that watch this content. 26%. That's kind of low. I was in the mid 30s. So take a look at that. It's one way to really support my channel, to get better comments, get more comments. It's motivating to me to see the subscriber and the impact raise up. If I didn't have subscribers and comments, I'm just a guy in an office talking to a camera by myself. Okay, so give me a subscribe. I'm going to put my ego in this for just a second here. I'm at just short of 95,000 subscribers. And I really don't push this a lot, but I could see the 100,000 coming. And I think we can hit it this month with your help. Nothing I'm going to do. It's all you. So I need your help pushing me over that goal of 100,000, and then I'll stop talking about subscribers. Okay. So there you go. Let's continue on. Number 4, confidence to spend. This is a big deal. Spending without earning is a big deal, especially at the beginning. I'm 7 years into retirement. Retired when I was 54, currently 61. The solution, guys, I've only found one solution to this, and I have passed this out for a long time free. Is you got to get out of your own head. I had a retirement group that helped. I have a financial advisor that I don't pay, but he's provided for me because of net worth minimum. But having somebody to talk to, you got, as long as it's your own plan, you're going to have deep-seated fears that, hey, maybe I got something wrong. Maybe I added something wrong. Maybe I misunderstood something. Maybe I didn't know what I didn't know. Here's the solution. Defining Wealth has a special this month, a $250 plan review. They will review your plan. It could be a Boldin printout. It could be a worksheet you created. It could be an Excel document. But they will look at your plan for about an hour and then set up a call with you. You'll actually reserve the time, okay? And they will talk to you about the strengths and gaps in your plans. $250 just this month, okay? Normally it's $300, and there's only, you want to talk about how rare this is. There's 2 companies I know of in the world. Tell me in the comments if you know anybody else. But I developed these relationships, one with Defining Wealth, one with Donaldson Capital Management, and developed the product with them, okay? And it's a $300 plan review. But Defining Wealth has it on sale. December only for $250. Check them out. They're in the links below. Okay, number 5, letting go of busy equaling important. When you are walking, you're at the mall, you're out on a hike, and you run into somebody you say, how you doing? You go, busy. It's kind of a little badge of honor we wear here in the United States. I'm not sure it's global, but in the United States, I'm busy. That means I'm important. And guess what? In your retirement, I'm not too busy. I control the pace. I control the number of things I'm going to do. Greatly enjoy that. And the last thing I can say is I'm busy. Okay. So I had to work through that formula that busy equals I'm important. I'm important because, hey, I'm just Joe. I'm husband Joe. I'm brother Joe. I'm dad Joe. I'm grandpa Joe. Papa is my grandpa name. Proud to wear that. Oh, and by the way, I did have an announcement. I put this in a post. I've got my second grandchild coming along from my daughter. She's participating more than the boys in the grandchild game. Anyway, number 6, fewer built-in social connections. Okay, at work, the topic of discussion is provided for you. It's work drama, right? But in retirement, you got a blank sheet of paper, a blank calendar. What I do, I still manage an electronic calendar, and I will put things on days like, hey, I have a paper to write for a magazine. I write for a magazine on reliability and maintenance, and I got an article due in 2 weeks. It's on my calendar to do today. And so I will take a task, instead of writing it down on a sheet of paper, I'll put it on my calendar, and it gives me something to do and to think about for that day. And that really helps. I also have a book club that I started. It's a study of history. I started with another guy. We meet monthly. I also have a retirement group that meets every Friday. So those are some things I have built in addition to my nonprofits where I have board meetings once a month. So there's some social interaction already built in. Tomorrow I'm going with my dad to the Evansville Wartime Museum. There's a presentation on Rosie the Riveter. I'm going with my dad. Isn't that cool? Being able to go with your dad to something like that. But building those things in, it really helps to be an extrovert. And I'd suggest you use your electronic calendar and put things on it. Okay, set things up. Oh, and I got a lunch date on Friday with a good friend of mine and his wife. So my wife and I are going out to lunch with them. We'll probably spend 3 hours together. Number 7, here's the quiet fear we all have. What if I was wrong? What if you think you have a good plan for retirement, financial plan? What if the market crashes? What if inflation stays high? What if I miss something? All these fears going in your head. We all have them. It's quite diminished for me now that I've been, at this game for 7 years. It's starting to become a routine and gone through a couple downturns. It does fade with time, but it is always whispering in the back. Okay. And the solution to me, you got to get out of your own head. You got to get a certified financial planner to put a little stamp on top of your plan and say, hey, yeah, here's a couple things to improve, but you got a solid plan. That confidence is huge in retirement. Huge, huge, huge confidence to spend and just to get rid of this little fear, especially when the market is down 20, 30, 40%. Okay. When it's up, you don't have this fear. It goes down a lot. You feel confident in your plan. Anyway, number 8, accepting that work is truly over. There's a finality to retirement. I'm not going back to work. I'm not bringing in money. That part of my life where I was learning and building a career and accomplishment, getting that next promotion from engineer to area supervisor to superintendent to manager to area manager to plant manager, to global director of reliability and maintenance. Those are some of my jobs. I had I had 3 different plant manager jobs. But that's over, and I was good at that game. And, and I'm sure you were good at the game. If you're talking about retirement, especially early, you were great at your game too. It's not sad. It's just kind of a little sobering. Number 9 challenge, and my nemesis, food. It's the key to my health focus. Food is available to me 24/7 now. I'm not so busy. I'm not absent from food. It's just right there in the other room in the refrigerator. I'm down 20 pounds from when I retired, but in 2022, I was down 20 more pounds. So I've gained half that back. I'm still down 20. I still exercise. But food is my nemesis, and I would say I'm losing that battle a little bit right now, but it's a daily struggle that I never really win. So I got to put that one on there. Food is my nemesis in retirement. Number 10, the realization that I'm now the older generation. This one hits hard on certain days. No matter how young I feel, how fit I feel, you can't argue that I'm at least late middle-aged. That's a fancy way of saying early old, right? the world clearly belongs to the next generation, the next innovation, the next accomplishment. It's the next generation, and I'm trying to help through mentoring and coaching content like this. But that sometimes can be sobering, and sometimes I feel great about being part of the older generation. Anyway, so there you go. Those are my 10. In closing, retirement is easy, especially financially. It's easy to get the information. It's better than I expected, but it's not without emotional challenges. And I hope that this video kind of normalizes some of the challenges that you're going to be going through, knowing that, hey, Joe went through this and Joe gave a few pointers on that. So there you go. It's Joe.